Shining the Light with IUMC welcomes you to another Meditate at 8.
We all face storms in our lives, and some are violent storms. They're the kind of storms that can kill you or someone you love, throw you into a state of panic or fear that overwhelms reason, and even threaten to shake your faith to the core. In Matthew chapter 8, the disciples face a literal storm while in a boat on the sea. But that literal storm causes another kind of storm inside of them. Matthew 8, verses 23 to 27 from the Message. Then he, Jesus, got in the boat, his disciples with him. The next thing they knew, they were in a severe or violent storm. Waves were crashing into the boat, and Jesus was sound asleep. They roused him, pleading, "Master, save us, we're going down." Jesus reprimanded them. "Why are you such cowards, such faint hearts?" Then he stood up and told the wind to be silent, the sea to quiet down. Silence! The sea became smooth as glass. Men rubbed their eyes, astonished. What's going on here? Wind and sea stand up and take notice at his command. Matthew describes the storm in just a few words, but with sufficient detail to let us see the image in our minds. There are 13 of them in a boat. I don't know about you, but when I imagine a first century boat, it reminds me of the wooden rowboat my grandfather made before I was born. 8 people would more than fill the boat. 13 would violate every safety standard on the books. The boat is already riding low in the water when the storm comes. It's not a normal storm. Remember, most of Jesus' disciples were fishermen. They're living on the sea. This one was severe. Some translations say violent. Waves are crashing over the side of the boat. Bailing isn't helping. The disciples are getting tossed from one side of the boat to the other and hanging on to one another just to stay in the boat. The wind is howling, making it difficult to talk or even to think. Then they notice that Jesus is sleeping. How is that possible? How would you feel if you were one of the disciples? You've given up everything to follow Jesus. Your life is in danger. You've seen what he can do, what he has done for others. Why is he sleeping? Why do you think Jesus was sleeping? Was he really unaware of the storm? Was he that uncaring of the disciples' feelings? Perhaps Jesus was trying to teach them and us something. He showed them that he had the power to calm the storm, and they were amazed by what he could do. But this wasn't the first time they'd seen Jesus perform a miracle, and it wouldn't be the last. What if the lesson had to do with fear? It's difficult for faith and fear to coexist. Fear, if we let it eat away at us, will consume us. Faith needs to drive out fear. 2 Timothy 1:7 says, "For God did not give us a spirit of fear or cowardice, but rather a spirit of power and of love and of self-discipline." Fear can destroy all those gifts of God. Biblically speaking, writes author Beth Moore, fear and faith fight for the same space. What causes fear in you? What lessons can you find in Matthew 8 to help your faith overcome your fear?